life into something that you can never own.
Hello, Gemini. So here's your reading for January 15th through about the 21st. These are general. Take what works, and what doesn't just doesn't work. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say to you. I need 3 cards for my Geminis, please. I need 2 more. Okay, that one, and one more, please. What is challenging my Geminis? And what is your recommendations for my Geminis? Oh. Okay, first up, in your recent past position, you have the Ace of Cups, which is all about the stirring of feelings, that initial emotional kind of feeling where there's somebody or something that you really love or you really, really like. There's something stirred your emotions, piqued your interest. And in your current position, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which represents hard work. It represents staying diligent with something and working very hard to achieve it and honing your skills. Like Jessie, please, honey, please. Thank you. Honing your skills. You're really trying to perfect whatever you're doing. And you're kind of doing it, I don't want to say repetitively, but you're really actively working on it. Now, in your near future position, you have the Five of Pentacles, which represents feeling like you don't have enough. It could be that you're lacking something. Now, what's challenging you this week is you have the Fool in reverse, and this represents being impulsive, making decisions without really thinking about them really clearly. Just kind of, it's almost like being reckless a little bit. Like you're making decisions without really thinking. You may be being a little reckless. Like it's kind of impulsiveness, impatience, and everything like that. But what the energy that you need to tap into this week, or what is recommended for you, you have the Seven of Pentacles, which represents slow and steady progress. This represents kind of having to reevaluate if something is worth the work. But it also represents this guy put a lot of work into growing this, and he's growing it. It's slowly growing. He may feel that it wasn't worth it or it took so long, but at the end of the day, like he's in the process, he's gaining what he wants, although it is not as quick as he may like. So I think whatever you started, there was some kind of new emotional connection for you. This could be a person or some kind of hobby or whatever you wanted to do. Something piqued your emotions. Something hit you in the feels. And you've been working very diligently on it or towards it. This is the Eight of Pentacles here, but for some reason, whatever's going on, and I think this is with the Fool energy that you have to watch, the Fool in reverse, is you're going to be feeling like you don't have enough. Maybe because things are going very, very slowly, you feel like you're lacking or something's not quite working out right. You feel like you don't have enough. So I think because of this energy here, the Fool is in reverse is here to let you know, don't start becoming reckless, because this guy is very stable. He's very persistent, and so is she. She's not reckless either, but I think you need to watch that all of a sudden now, because you're getting impatient. You're going to start getting reckless. You're going to start making bad decisions and that type of energy. So you need to watch out for that. But it's recommended that reevaluate the situation. See if there's a different way that could streamline a certain process or make something more efficient. But also evaluate if you really want this. Because I kept getting this, I get this a lot when I'm doing something and I'm putting so much effort into it. And I might not really get any major gain from it, but I'm getting some value to myself. Like it might feel like I'm putting in more work for something than what I'm really gaining back. But at the same time, when it's all over, I'm happy I still did it. It was still worth it to me, even though it's not quite as, it might not wind up having the value in the long run, but it's valuable to me in a sense. So there might be something that you might be going through something like that. But he's also about staying persistent too. Like, he's been persistent to grow these. He's waiting. He's babysitting these. Like, he is watching these things. He's like, okay, any little bug that comes like wandering through, he knows about it and he's going to relocate that bug somewhere else. That's how persistent and diligent he is about growing this stuff. And the Eight of Pentacles is all about trial and error, trying to create the perfect balance of things, like trying to hone your craft, like perfecting what you're doing. So, but sometimes it's slow going. It might be a little slow going, and it might be leaving you feeling that you want things to progress a little quicker, but everything in its own good time sometimes, right? Okay, so let's see what else we get for you guys, my Geminis. I need one card for my Geminis, please. One card for my Geminis. Got this one, which is, you got Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Look at that. Okay, let's see what else we get for you. And Turquoise, prioritize your health. Hand of Cards, take a chance, risk being strategic, options, not showing hand gambling. And let's see what these three have to say for you. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, and this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Now, okay, so let's see here. So definitely the turtle spirit is here because the turtles, they're slow. Slow and steady wins the race, and he's letting you know that even though if you're making slow progress and it's not quite where you want to be in the near future, you're not feeling like you've gained everything that you really want, continue to work on it, because this guy, at the end of the day, these things are going to fully ripen, and he's going to be able to pick them, and he's going to be able to like eat them or cook with them or do whatever he's going to do with these things, sell these things or whatever's going on. But it's slow progress. So I think this is saying that even though you're making slow progress, continue on perfecting your skills, and just be mindful of any kind of because the Fool, he begins the journey. So I wonder for some of you, if, I don't want to say get rich quick schemes might be in play, but the Fool, he doesn't know exactly how the path is going to go going forward, but he knows he's beginning. But when he's in reverse, you really need to just watch out if there's something, especially because the Five of Pentacles is here, if there's something that's going to be tempting to you about some get-rich-quick scheme or something to make things appear like they're going to go quicker than they actually are, whereas it's just going to wind up being reckless and a bad decision. So it's annoying. Sometimes slow progress is kind of annoying as hell. I'm not going to lie to you. But you know what they say, like, slow progress is better than no progress, I guess. So the turtle spirit is here saying that you are going to, this to me indicates that you are going to achieve what you want. It's just going to come in its own good time. And sometimes that time is not on our timeline, but it's coming in for you. So I think you just have to keep on keeping on with this little guy here. Now, Turquoise, prioritize your health. And I wonder if you're working very, very hard and super focused on whatever this is, that you need to kind of make sure that you're obviously, like, you're kind of not burning yourself out a little bit, because I think whatever this is that you're working on is something that you're kind of attached to, in a sense, like you're in love with. You just have to make sure that you're not burning the candle at both ends. So that definitely is a good card to have any time. Now, Hand of Cards, take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing your hand, gambling. Now, it's interesting because the Fool here is all about that first initial step into something. And he is a little bit of like a risk-taking card, even when he's in the upright. But in the upright, he's a little bit more positive about kind of taking that initial journey, initial steps, going on to a new path. But I really think here, there's a strategic way to go about things. So maybe because you have being strategic and options, maybe there's a different way you can actually be doing something that could strategically and effectively help you push forward a little bit better. So, and I think you might have options in a sense, you know? So this could indicate that if you've been doing something one kind of way, there might be a different way, obviously, to make it kind of work, or a different way that might bring you more success or quicker success, but you need to make sure that it's not something that's reckless in a sense. Now, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Now, I do think, yeah, this obviously could be for romance and everything, but I think these cards, they really can apply in different ways. Now, I feel like whatever this is to you, in a sense, you're engaged to it. Like the Ace of Cups is kind of that emotional, it's feeling that like, ooh. So I think whatever this is saying, this is like, you might not be married to this idea or whatever this is quite yet, but you're putting in the work. So you're in the engagement phases. I think you're kind of could potentially be a little bit at the early stages of it, because the Fool is here as well. So I think it could be something that you started, you had this idea or this, you know, this feeling, something kind of piqued your interest, and you might be trying to troubleshoot it, because in the engagement phases, you're still dating, you're a little bit more committed to it. So this could indicate that you put more time into this, but it's still within a certain stage where it's not fully developed. You're not married to it quite yet. You could probably still back out if you wanted to. But I definitely think that this is saying that you're committing yourself to something, and I think you're wanting to even give it more of your time, but you need to kind of figure out the best way forward. I think that's what that's saying to me. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And I think that's going with this prioritize your health. If you're really putting your effort into something else or someone else, don't forget to, I don't want to say put yourself first, but don't forget to take time for you, because if you're not okay, then none of this is going to be okay. You know, you got to make sure that you're doing you first and you're taking care of yourself. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And I really feel this is going with the Ace of Cups moment. I think whatever this Ace of Cups represents for you, and with this engagement card here, I think that this is something that either will go the test of time, will be more of a long-term aspect in your life regarding if it's love, if it's a new venture, if it's something, whatever this represents for you, it's something that could potentially be in your life for a long time or develop nicely for you. Okay, so I think that's really positive. Okay, let's see what quote we get for you guys. Okay, so we got a few of them. I'm going to take just the top ones because we got a bunch of them. Okay. Happiness is found on the way, not at the end of the road. Great leaders don't blame the tools they are given. They work to sharpen them. And stop cheating on your future with your past. It's over. So I wonder if a little bit some of this Five of Pentacles energy could be aspects that were from the past kind of coming into the situation. Are you feeling like maybe because you're not making the progress that you initially wanted at this point in whatever this represents to you, that you're feeling like it's not going to work? And maybe you've had a failure or an experience in the past that where something didn't work out, and you kind of could be having that emotion come up again. So I think this is saying don't focus on the past. You're present now. It's only now and moving forward and in the future. So focus on the future. Great leaders don't blame the tools they are given. They work to sharpen them. And this is really indicating that to be a great leader or to achieve the success in anything, you have to continuously be trying to perfect it. And this is really going with that Eight of Pentacles energy. You have to constantly, this could be parenting, this could be anything, any aspect in your life, to gain a mastery level at it or to become extremely proficient at something, you need to constantly be resharpening those tools. And when they get dull, you have to resharpen them again, especially in today's age with technology and everything. It's moving so quickly. So things are moving at a much faster pace. So you might constantly be having to re-educate yourself to a certain degree, or being aware of the latest trends in certain aspects to see, well, what is the newest thing, and constantly keeping yourself in a state of relevancy. So it's constantly you're having to resharpen your tools, but that's what differentiates like somebody who's extremely successful and somebody who's not. Not that there's anything wrong with, not trying to strive forward with anything, because there's nothing wrong with it at all. But because some people just are happier just having a little bit more of a simplistic life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think with whatever you're trying to achieve here, you have a lot of work cards. So I think whatever this is something that's really, you're putting a lot of time and energy into, and that takes time to perfect it. So even if you have a little mess up here and there, you'll get there. It's going to be slow. It's going to be steady. You're going to be watching all the little bugs try to eat your little fruit or whatever, but you're going to be on it. It might look like there's nothing happening because he's constantly watching these things. So he probably doesn't really realize, if he was to, let's say, walk away and come back 2 months later, he would have seen, oh, look at all the progress this made. But if you're constantly kind of watching the progress, you might not actually be seeing the progress. But I think changes are happening. It's just, I think you're so focused and involved in it, you might not actually be seeing the gains that you're making. So happiness is found on the way, not at the end of the road. And I think this is reminding you, especially because the Five of Pentacles is here, that you have to enjoy each step of the way. A lot of times I know I focus of the goal. I'm focused on the goal I want to achieve, and I'm not really enjoying the process. And a lot of times the process to get to the goal is not really that enjoyable to begin with. So, but I think it's trying to remind you to stay present in the moment. If you're constantly focusing on what you want in the end, it's almost like when you get to the end, it might not even be, you might not even feel it's worth it. It's like you finally got to the end and you're like, oh, that whole process sucked. I think this is saying that just enjoy the little moments. Don't make yourself crazy. You're going to get to where it needs to go. It will be a little slower potentially. So this is just reminding you to enjoy your life. Enjoy your life, Geminis. Life is a learning lesson. And each step of the way, we are learning something new to help develop us spiritually, emotionally, whatever forward. So let's see what we get for you guys. Oh, I forgot to do the spirit of the dish. Give me a second. You know what? Let me do the spirit of the dish now, because we need to know. We need to know what spirit of the dish shall be with you in the upcoming weeks. What spirit of the dish? Well, no, not yet. What spirit of the dish for my Geminis? What spirit of the dish for my Geminis? Hold on a second here. Spirit of the dish for my Geminis. Okay, so you know what? This one, he's kind of reaching out to me. So you got the hot mess. The hot mess really speaks to me. So this is the spirit of the Sunday. And it just looks very delicious. So there you go. The spirit of the hot mess shall be with you in this upcoming week. Now, for the dinner and a movie, you have action. What am I saying? You have, for dinner and a movie, you have action films and American food. You actually have Gemini for your little zodiac signs here. Now, this could obviously indicate somebody you're dealing with, or it could indicate the energy you either need to tap into or be aware of. So you have Gemini, and that's all about communication and thought processes, and kind of like having like a devil's advocate, seeing multiple sides of something and kind of having that duality aspect. And you also have Leo, which indicates like they're confident, has a lot to do with ego and about individuality. So I think you need to remain confident, because sometimes when things go very slowly, we lose confidence in ourselves, but you shouldn't do that. You should remain confident. You also have the Sun, which is all about kind of like the ego, individuality, and confidence as well. So you have two things of confidence here. So I think you need to really like keep confidence. And you also have Neptune, and this is about vision, creativity, and illusions. So I think you have a longer picture vision of this situation, and but don't get sucked. The illusions could indicate something coming in with the Fool reversed aspect, where there might be like somebody's trying to show you like a shiny object, but it's really not a shiny object. So I think this is, don't be reckless and don't fall into any kind of illusionary or something that is not quite what it seems, because you're getting a little impatient. So stay diligent. You also have the 4th house, which represents the home, intuition, parenting, and children. And you have the 7th house, which is all about partnerships, marriages, friendships, and legal proceedings. Now, let's see what little numbers we get for you guys. So we have A, X, and S, U, 8, 4, and 1. And you have love. And you had something else about, all these things were kind of about love. Love yourself first. So I definitely think that you need to, and this is all about loving something. This is this, your emotions, you're kind of emotionally invested in something. So I think whatever this is, it's a labor of love, but it's still a labor because the 8 of Pentacles here and also the 7 of Pentacles, they're kind of, you're trying to grow something. So I definitely think that you need to remind yourself in those moments where you're just frustrated, you've had enough. I think you need to remind yourself why you started this, like why you wanted to do this or proceed forward with this. Okay, let me get you a little charmy thingy. Let's see what little charmy guy we got for you today. Oh, and the fish. So you have like the boned fish. So this represents to me regarding this reading that he has a solid foundation. Like everything has been picked clean off of him, but yet he has like a solid foundation. So I think whatever you're building here, you're building a very solid foundation with something. So regardless if in the future aspects change, like the fleshy aspects of it changes, you still have that core structure that's not going anywhere. So I definitely think for him, this is what he represents, is like your core structure. Because in a sense, the 5 of Pentacles here could represent one of the fleshy aspects that you think something isn't going right, you don't have enough or whatever. But at the end of the day, like you need to take stock in actually what you do have. And I think whatever you've been working on, I think you're perfecting it so much so that there's going to be like a real solid foundation that you can continue to build upon. And even if a fleshy aspect doesn't work out or gets picked off or just, deteriorates or decays or whatever, you still have that core foundation that you can now rebuild upon again. So that's what I get from this little guy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so now it is time, Geminis. Think of your question and let us proceed. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Gemini's question? It says, outlook good. There you guys go. The 8-ball has spoken. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.